So Herbert also definitively in tier 1, 36 tier 1 votes, 14 tier 2 votes. I mean, that's that's pretty strong. Like that is a definition of a tier 1 quarterback, and that feels right, obviously, based on the way he played last year. And it was fun going through this list. There are some guys where a lot of the commentary is the way they play the game. Burrow, right? People talking about Burrow and just his ability to extend plays and his decision making and just certain kind of intangible aspects to his game. And then people talking about Herbert, and every single person that you quoted, pretty much every single guy was like, when we were playing against him and I saw him up close, it was like, holy shit. And and the flavor of those kinds of observations, I always love seeing the different ways that you kind of articulate how people are commenting on these guys. And that's how it feels with Herbert, right? You watch him and it's like, oh yeah, that's him. Like that's the guy. Like it just clear as day.
It's a visceral reaction. It's a visceral reaction.
Exactly right. And when I talk about him, obviously that's how I communicate it. Where you watch it, it's like, oh my God, like what is happening here? And that it feels so plain when you watch him, right? You watch that guy and like that is an elite top shelf quarterback in every single way, just the way it feels watching him. And so it's so just inherent in how we understand him. But it's that sorry, let me do that again. 5, 4, 3. It's so inherent in the way that we understand him that it's easy to forget people his age don't get put into this range in quarterback tiers very often.
Absolutely not. I mean, you can think of Andrew Luck probably very, very early in his career. Although he may have been older. I don't remember, but it is hard to get in there that early and that resoundingly. The cool thing to me talking to people about him is, look, these are a lot of grizzled people that have been around the league, and they don't just let somebody into tier 1. They're not easily impressed, right? So I think it's really cool when you have the people on the inside almost have fan-like reactions. You know what I mean? When somebody it's just different when a pro golfer goes, oh my gosh, this guy's wedge game is the best I've ever seen. That's totally different than just some fan who says, wow, Herbert sure is exciting, right? I love that component of it. It is unusual. Multiple people with the visceral reaction on him. I think it shows us that, hey, even though the team hasn't done that great lately, they haven't gotten over the top, people know it when they see it with him. And there's just he's 2 for 2. 2 years, 2 different coaching staffs, by the way. No one's talking about, oh, yeah, the coaching changed. No one's making excuses for why this guy had a bad year. He was the real deal out of the gates with 2 different coaches. What would that team's record be if they had a tier 3 quarterback?
The nugget that you threw out that he's only the 4th guy that's ever been in tier 1 before he turned 25. And the 3 other guys in that list, Patrick Mahomes, who won the MVP in his first full season as a starter, Andrew Luck, who anyone who's listened to this feed in the last 2 weeks knows is the greatest quarterback prospect in a 2-decade span, and Deshaun Watson, who is one of the most accomplished college football players of all time. Justin Herbert, in a lot of ways, doesn't align with those guys were supposed to be and what they were earlier in their careers. But if you look at the way that the votes went, he is no doubt about it in this group.